Education is dying. Man, it's so true. And I was gonna react to another video on Cole Hastings' channel that just recently came out, how AI is ruining education for everyone. But when I saw America's education crisis, I'm like, I know this is the part 1 of that video. I can just feel it. So I'm gonna click on this video. America's education crisis, it's been big, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, bro. In the past few years, education has not been important. In fact, like, not even in the past few years, but in general, life and everyone around you, no one cares about learning. No one talks about anything that's insanely crazy that can help your life. When you talk about science or something in math or something that can improve your life, they'll be like, what the fuck, are you a college professor? Get out of my face. And so I don't really like that vibe that people have nowadays. But I mean, hey man, it is what it is. Today we got America's Education Crisis by Cole Hastings. Let's go.
The education system is going through a crisis, and teachers don't know what to do.
Teachers are speaking out, saying that iPad kids are poorly behaved and impossible to teach.
Wow. This was all the way back in December 26th of 2023. iPad kids are poorly behaved and impossible to teach. Wow. I mean, I know my little sister, she acts perfectly fine inside her classroom. Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm doing something. I know my little sister acts completely. I know she acts behaved. I mean, like, we did give her like devices, you know what I'm saying? But damn, I don't know how to feel about this. Damn, this is kind of tough, man. I do feel sorry for some teachers though. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. Teachers are pricks, man. Growing up, bro, I don't know about y'all. I didn't act bad like that as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I may talk loud sometimes, but bro, like, some teachers were just pricks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some of them are actual, like, complete pricks, bro. Like, no joke. But we're gonna get into this, man, because both sides are fucked up. And I feel like we just need a new way of learning, bro. We need a whole new way of doing this shit. We need a whole... Education is dying, but I feel like we can really turn this shit around. But you feel me?
Kids of all ages are quitting their job because of the behavior of Gen Alpha students.
The kids have no ability
to... That one said,
their...
my mom was a teacher for 20 years across 2 states, teaching elementary, middle school, high school ages, and Gen Alpha was the reason she quit. I mean, bro, and what is that emoji? You feel me? Like, I feel like... I don't know. I feel like America was always coming to this. But I mean, like, bro, we're going to have to find a new way in this education system, bro. I got so much to say for this series because this is probably the biggest thing that's happened in my life. I remember just being in high school, you know what I'm saying? And, like, students, and, like, I was in 11th grade, bro. And the teacher was just talking about, like, the future of education. And he's like, bro, once it's 2030, I feel like niggas is just going to straight up stop going to high school. Like, high school isn't even going to be a thing anymore. Because, bro, once it's going to be, like, 2030, bro, nigga, I'm already about to be 20 years old, if you think about that shit. Nigga, once it's 2030, bro, I'm going to be, like, 25, 24. You feel me? I was born in 2005, December 12th. So, bro, I'm going to be 25. Bro, like, by then, like, nigga, I'm grown. I'm going to start having my kids. Like, Gen Alpha is already... when did Gen Alpha start? I forgot what year they said that shit started. 2025? Now, I don't even remember, like, what, I don't even know. 2015 or something or like that? 2015, bro. Nigga, the niggas who were born in 2015 are going to be 15 years old. Nigga, y'all have to start thinking, bro. Like, that's gonna change a nigga's perspective on life.
Job because of the behavior.
It's only been 13 seconds I've been yapping, but I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy.
Gen Alpha students.
The kids have no ability.
And they're complaining on TikTok. That's crazy.
To be bored whatsoever. They live on their phones and they're just fed a constant stream of dopamine from the minute their eyes wake up in the morning until they go to sleep at night.
I'm going to just say this. I teach 7th grade. They are still performing on the 4th grade level.
In a
Holy shit. Man, I like, bro, growing up, I was never this dumb, bro. My parents, bro, they made me sit at that table for hours. No, not hours. The moment we got back from school, we'd probably eat something, we'd probably not eat something. We weren't allowed to watch TV, do anything. We weren't even allowed to talk on that table. From the moment we sat down on that table till we went to sleep. We didn't get no naps. We got naps maybe sometimes because my brother started coming back home from practice. He'd be tired, so he'll get some naps. We'll be reading. Then, you feel me, my brother would get his nap, then he'll start reading, he'll do his homework. Bro. Man, life has really changed, bro. When I was a kid, this shit was not happening, bro. That's crazy. And damn, bro.
Previous video, I went in depth on America's literacy crisis, specifically talking about the factors that have led to young children's reading scores dropping since 2012. And while I did touch on a few factors of formal education that influence these scores, I didn't really focus on the structure of the education system as a whole. Traditional teaching methods, the growing disconnect between teachers and students, and the overwhelming presence of technology have made the image of students quietly sitting in a classroom while a teacher lectures feel more outdated than ever. So let's go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. With you being on your phone all day, TikTok being so messed up. Like, at the end of the day, bro, like, our generation, I feel like, I'm not going to say we can just handle TikTok. You feel me? A lot of people can't handle TikTok. Even these teachers that use it can't handle that shit. But, I mean, I can handle it, but not speaking about me. Speaking about the other niggas, I feel like we can somewhat handle it to a certain extent, but bro, when you hand TikTok to like a 5-year-old, bro, you gotta think what that shit does to them. Bro, like that's not normal at all. I ain't never had something like TikTok growing up, nigga. Until nigga like Vine. I mean, when Vine started blowing up, nigga, that was Vine compilations. We were watching like hours of that shit. But like and we would search that shit up on YouTube, like it would be much different, but like I don't know, bro. TikTok, like, scrolling through that shit, bro. Like, imagine what that would do to, like, a fucking 8-year-old. That'd mess that nigga up. I mean, bro, but it is what it is.
Deeper into the current problems with America's schooling system, how it no longer sets up children for as much success, and what changes we could make to adapt to an era of rapid transformation. The current education system has remained largely unchanged for the last 200 years or so.
Facts, it hasn't.
When industrialization ramped up in the West, it created the need for universal schooling. Factories needed workers with basic literacy and numeracy skills for operating machinery and following instructions. But the push for universal education was also driven by things like reducing crime and promoting citizenship.
Yeah, and at that time, bro, only, like, dude, only 9% of Americans graduated college. No, I think it was only 9% of Americans graduated high school. Back then, niggas could not afford high school or college. They weren't even graduating from that shit. Bro, they'll probably do middle school. They'll probably do a little bit of high school, drop out, and just work with their dad at some, like, farm or some shit. And that would be a nigga's life. They'll never see anything outside of that shit. Bro, we can evolve, bro. I mean, we did. Across humanity, we 100% did. But it's like, I feel like mentally, bro, like, we're still, like, not that smart. But we did get smarter from then. But damn, we could do better. You know what I'm saying?
At the time, the most optimal way to make sure the working population was receiving the teaching they needed in order to be prepared for their jobs was through rigid schedules, lecture-based instruction, and standardized testing. As the years went on, despite advancements in technology...
And that's another thing, bro. In school, bro, oh my God. Bro, we stopped... Wait, when did we stop standing for the Pledge of Allegiance? I think that shit was 9th grade, bro. Yo, 11th grade, bro, we only had one teacher that forced us to do that shit. In other classes, bro, we did not stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, bro. No one stood up. No one did that shit. No, like it's crazy, bro. Once you got to high school, bro, you did not stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance anymore, bro. No one stood up for that shit. No one fucking stood up for it, bro. Man, like, life has changed. I wonder what a middle school looks like now, bro. I mean, back when I was in middle school, bro, it was bad. I had some... Yeah, bro, I don't know.
Instruction and standardized testing. As the years went on, despite advancements in technology speeding up, this remained a relatively viable way to teach children. And along the way, some of those advancements got integrated into universal education. Stuff like TVs, computers, and digital smartboards were used to enhance the teaching methods, but weren't so detached from how those methods had worked the past 100 plus years to the point where formal education was no longer effective.
What year is this? I'm trying to see what year is this.
Viable.
I think it's 2000.
But then, a few things happened. None of these factors alone can fully explain the decline of formal education, but together they've created the perfect storm that led to the current crisis we are in today. And those things are the unprecedented generational gap between teachers, adults, and Generation Alpha, the cost of living crisis, the devaluing of college degrees, artificial intelligence, and smartphones.
This is all so true. All of this is the reason why that there is a huge education crisis. And guess what? Smartphones are going to continue to increase. AI is going to continue to increase. The cost of living with all these dumbasses constantly spending their money on retarded shit is going to continue to increase. And devaluing college degrees. Hey, I think like about a couple months ago, my brother was talking about Trump making everything, making college free. If that shit happens, it is over. Teacher and student gap, he has to get into this. I need a quick explanation on that.
And by the way, smartphones play a partial role in just about every other thing that I listed off. So let's start with the teachers. According to a survey of more than 1,300 K-12 schools across the nation conducted in the 2024-2025 school year, 82% of public schools had 2 or more teaching vacancies, and 70...
Wait, what? What does that even mean? Oh, yeah! I think, yeah. So that's another thing that's been happening lately, when I was in high school. Bro, the teachers were dead ass. Some of them, bro, once that COVID year happened, some teachers were just not showing up to their job, bro. Like, I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but that was just that was a crazy time, bro. The teachers were just not even showing up anymore. They just stopped showing up. Some of them, like, bro, my brother literally tried to sign up for a college class at the last minute. That shit couldn't even work because I think the teacher got fired or quit or some shit. But
82% of public schools had 2 or more teaching vacancies, and 74% of them had difficulty filling those positions. Why? Well, this survey found that the biggest reason was simply that too few candidates are applying for open positions. But I think it should be obvious by now that the reason that's the top reason is because of the awful pay. The economic policy...
Yeah, that's another thing. And that's always been a problem. Teachers don't get paid at all. You do not get paid being a teacher, bro. You make like $4,500 to $5,000 a month as a teacher. Probably less. That's nothing, bro. You don't make nothing in this economy. Bro, you like that's good enough for you. But like most of these teachers, they got families and shit. Like, bro, that shit ain't gonna work. Nigga, you know what that is? Like, a teacher, bro, like, nigga, that shit don't mean, like, there's nothing, bro. That shit is not good enough. The teachers are complaining about their pay. Man, overall, bro, school was always a very disengaging place for me. But, like, bro, like, you could imagine what the teacher is going through. They're just like, all right, I gotta clock in. And that's another thing, and that's another thing about this school shit, bro, is knowing the reality of a teacher, bro. Knowing the reality that a teacher is a nigga who went to college, bro, who went into college undeclared. They picked probably the easiest major, like general studies, some whack-ass major, and then got a job at a middle school, and is now forced to do all this crap and wants fucking coochie and probably has an ex-wife he's probably a deadbeat, and like once you start or probably a woman who is just a bum. Like once you start knowing, like, oh shit, so this is how they were in the past. Because one thing about adults is that you never really know how they were as a kid. Like, especially as a kid, you don't, looking at an adult, you don't know how they are. You just look at an adult and you're like, I just know that this guy's an invincible dude. Like, hell nah, man. Like, he is just like you. He is just like you, bro. Yeah, bro, it's not, Like, because once you start knowing about adults, you're going to be like, oh, that makes sense. Like, that was what was going on.
The reason that's the top reason is because of the awful pay. The Economic Policy Institute found that, on average, public school teachers earn 73.4 cents for every dollar relative to the earnings of similar professionals.
Earn 73.4 cents every dollar relative to the earnings of other similar professionals
in 2023. That's roughly 27% less than comparable college graduates.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
So while the wages for most other college grads have gone up, the wages for teachers have remained largely stagnant since the mid-1990s.
God. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that's the death of education, man. And but college professors make more than that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, yeah, bro, when you become a teacher, bro, you're just some broke ass nigga, man, that's hating. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro, even though education is very important, bro, you can't lie, bro, the education system was kind of whack, bro. The teachers were fucked up. Like, it was a lot of shit going on, bro. And if you were a nigga that wasn't experiencing that shit, bro, honestly, all I gotta say is, bro, you just really had to be there to experience that shit, bro. It was fucked up. Like, the whole shit, I got so many, like, stories, too, bro. It was just ass. Like, I hated school so much. I'm not gonna lie, school was the place I hated with my life. But let's keep going.
Knowing this, it's easy to see why we're hearing the kinds of stories teachers are sharing about Gen Alpha students, like the ones I mentioned at the start of the video. Put very bluntly, people are much more willing to put up with bullshit, and in this case, kids' bullshit, if they're getting paid fairly for it. But seeing as the pay is so awful, the ones that did decide to pursue a degree in education that are getting paid pennies for it now have to put up with what is allegedly the most ill-tempered and self-centered generation there is. We'll expand upon that observation in a second, but first I want to talk about today's sponsor, David.
Oh, I love you, Cole Hastings, but no.
We'll try it out. Let's keep the motherfucking gains. In a rare study comparing generational differences, the researchers identified characteristics of Generation Alpha from the perspective of preschool teachers. They found Generation Alpha to exhibit behaviors such as being more curious, free from any rules, being more ill-tempered, more mobile, and more self-centered than Generation Z. Moreover, they also had
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's... I didn't even know.
Had high self-esteem, and they were more emotional and more conscious. A caveat I'd like to make with this study is that they're just taking the perspective of a small sample of teachers and comparing them to their Gen Z students. So it would be wrong to generalize that all Generation Alpha kids have these traits more than Generation Z kids do. Still, what I think this study highlights is exactly what I wanted to get into next, the increasing generational gap. To really understand how big this gap is, let's compare the disconnect between today's teachers and Gen Alpha to a previous generational gap, when Gen X was in middle or high school around 1977 to 1998. Back then, the older teachers were mostly from the silent generation, shaped by World War II and post-war conservatism, while the younger ones were boomers, shaped by the Civil Rights Movement, Vietnam War, and the counterculture era. Yes, they had different worldviews, but despite that, Gen Xers and Boomers still grew up in a world that operated on the same...
Yeah. Overall, Gen X and Boomers are... Yeah, they're like the same. They're pretty much the same. Like the world was pretty much no different. The world only started drastically changing once we got to the millennials. Wait, millennial was 1977 through 1998. Oh, Gen X, my fault, Gen X. Once we got to Gen X, that was when shit started changing like big, and bro, and then we have the world as we know it today. Like Gen X that was when shit started rapidly changing. So niggas who were born in Gen X, they saw everything change, like, because they were influenced by the silent generation and the boomers. And then after that, bro, they watched all of Gen Z. And they're still watching all of Gen Z. That's crazy, bro. That's something to know.
The Civil Rights Movement, Vietnam War, and the counterculture era. Yes, they had different world.
Like, niggas in the Gen X, they were completely grown adults when that 9/11 shit was going on. Like, anyone in the millennials, they did not know much about that shit.
Views, but despite that, Gen Xers and Boomers still grew up in a world that operated on the same basic rules. The way kids played, the way they socialized after school, the way teachers taught, it was all pretty consistent. Now let's contrast that with today. Gen Alpha is being taught by millennials and younger Gen Xers, people who didn't grow up with smartphones, social media, or instant access to AI-powered information. And meanwhile, Gen Alpha has never known a world without those things. Their entire childhood has been mediated by screens designed to
how to tie their shoes, but they can do all
grab their attention, deliver instant feedback, and never let them feel bored. We didn't just shift culture, we shifted the entire architecture of childhood. What took a century to evolve before now has flipped upside down completely in less than a decade. From the way they talk to each other, to how quickly they receive information, to the pandemic which stunted their maturity, to the endless amount of entertainment they have access to, Gen Alpha is the first generation that has grown up in a world almost completely foreign to any other generation before it. So when the teachers complain about their kids not focusing on their schoolwork or not paying attention or being rude, it's not just, oh, there's always going to be some rambunctious, rebellious kids, and there's going to be some bad apples in every class. It's these kids are now spending 7 hours a day every weekday in an incompatible, outdated system with them that we have been teaching.
Bro, this is why I love Cole Hastings. This is the truth now. Like, the truth has finally came out, because let's be honest, how, like, niggas back in the fucking, like, bro, even back in, what was it? I forgot, the 90s? And they talked about black students on their SAT scores. Bro, the average SAT score was about a 900 for black students. It's mainly because most black students, they had, like, a TV in their house. Like, the reason why everything started to change, bro, is because this shit has been outdated. Bro, we heard it in the beginning of the video. It has been the education system has been existing for 200 years, where you sit in a classroom, a teacher's talking, and you have to sit there for a long time, and they give out their lecture, and then you have to sit there, you have to take notes, and then you take a test. Bro, that shit is old, bro. That shit is old. It's old. It's old. Now, don't get me wrong. What they're teaching is not wrong. It's completely correct. But it's old. We need a new way of learning. This shit does not help us, bro. Ain't nobody retaining this shit. Bro, we never retain that shit. Bro, any nigga that's graduated college, bro. Any nigga that has been through college, has been through all that, who has done all that shit, bro. Name something that you remember that you've learned from college classes, bro. You can't. You don't remember none of that shit, bro. You don't care. All you care about is that the fact that I got a job now and I thug that shit out and I get to travel the world and do whatever the fuck I want. That's all you care about, bro. We need a new way of learning. We need a new purpose, bro. Like, humanity, like 9/11 has increasingly been just drying. We watched, I remember every single school year, 9/11 was just the most depressing thing we ever had to hear about. So scary, so drastic, so major. But, like, in recent years, 9/11 has just been, it's been slowly dropping off. Like, it feel like 9/11 don't even feel like that big to us anymore. And that's the biggest. I wasn't alive to see 9/11, but that was like the biggest thing America had to go through during in the 2000s. And over time, like, it's just like the kids don't even like. It's crazy, bro.
Oh, there's always going to be some rambunctious, rebellious kids, and there's going to be some bad apples in every class. It's these kids are now spending 7 hours a day every weekday in an incompatible, outdated system with them that we have been teaching kids to learn for the past 2 centuries. And it's neither the kids nor the teacher's fault. This is where someone might say, oh, well, it's the parents' responsibility. You know, the parents have to instill the importance of formal education.
Guess what? The parents had to do the same thing too. Bro, millennials are starting to become parents. Like the older generations now are now Gen X. Gen X is 77 and up. Bro, anyone who was born, like Nick, there were some teachers I had born in the 80s. Like, bro, it's
and doing well in school to see future success early on in their childhood and restrict their kids from using stimulating devices as much as possible. And while that is true to some extent, I would argue that there's only so much that a parent can do to shelter their child from digital devices and the online world. Yes, parents should do a better job ensuring their child spends enough time playing with other children and actually engaging with physical reality, but these devices are now so intertwined with our lifestyles that we depend on them to stay up to date and not fall behind in this new, ever-evolving digital world. That's not me giving parents an excuse to be shitty parents. It's just the reality.
It is just a reality of the situation.
Of what we're facing right now. And I know a lot of you might have rolled your eyes when I said millennials didn't grow up with social media and smartphones. Well, yeah, they kind of did.
But they really didn't. Like millennials, bro. No, I'd say I grew up like even me. I was born in 2005. Bro, I didn't really even see like all that like phone shit really start popping off like crazy until 2015. Like that phone shit, like I ain't gonna lie, it was still pretty normal for you to not have a phone in like 2016, bro. It was still pretty normal. Like niggas had iPhone 4s. Like that shit, it wasn't even like that bad. Like even millennials, like look at back, like millennials, nigga, they were born in 1998. Like, bro, they grew up, I'm gonna say like the first 10 years of their life, 12 years of their life, they grew up without phones. They didn't, like, the phones weren't even like that big on them. You feel me?
They grew up in a time where social media wasn't so exploitative, abrasive.
Like, social media didn't start popping off like crazy until like 2017, 2016, bro. Even then, I didn't even have, like, my brother, I mean, like, me and my brother, he did have Instagram on like his BlackBerry for like a little bit, but I didn't give a fuck about that shit. Like, I didn't give a fuck about that shit. Like, but it was just like, bro, like, that shit was not even that big. Like, you feel me? Like, it wasn't even that big. Like, these social media apps, remember, they just started existing in 2010. Most of them. TikTok was originally Musical.ly, and it just started blowing up. And it started blowing up and gaining traction in like 2019, late 2019, or mid 2019, bro. That was when TikTok started gaining its traction. Like, nigga, none of that shit was big on us, bro. Especially the millennials. They didn't see an ounce of technology until it was like, damn. Like, nigga, they watched the education system completely change and have technology in it.
But they grew up in a time where social media wasn't so exploitative, abrasive, and mentally damaging. So they're still trying to catch up and learn about the damages that too much of this stuff can have on children and how to properly limit it. It's an extremely fresh field of research when we compare it to the entire timeline of the Industrial Revolution, because Gen Alpha is the first generation to grow up entirely in the 2020s era digital environment, with smartphones and social media embedded in daily life from birth.
And it's crazy because we are almost in 2026. We are almost in 2026, bro. We are closer to 2050 than we are closer to the 2000s. We're in a new era, bro. We are in a whole new era, and life has been moving so fast. I remember the AI video with Will Smith and the spaghetti. That shit looked ass. Look at AI now; it can completely replicate our behavior. Bro, by 2030, bro, we're not even going to know the difference. Like, everything is going to completely change. Like, things are going to start changing so fast, bro. Things have already been changing. It's already been getting crazy. This shit is crazy, bro.
Now let's talk about one of the other ways that the digital environment has indirectly changed the world forever that is tied to the education crisis, the cost of living crisis, and the devaluing of college degrees. These are related enough that I feel like lumping them together just makes sense. When we think about how to stop formal education from declining, we often tend to focus on what I've been talking about, such as improving the system for both teachers and students. That's absolutely important, but without a proper incentive to actually study and learn, that still probably won't be enough. And right now, those incentives feel drier than ever. I don't need to beat a dead drum about how hard it is to afford the things that make life feel like it's actually moving forward, but let me beat a dead drum. Listen, Gen Alpha is not stupid, at least in the sense that they don't know what's going on in the world and what their potential future might look like. They are seeing loads of influencers talk about wages stagnating and house prices
Jesus Christ.
increasing and how AI is going to replace millions of jobs soon. With a narrative like that being fed to them, what incentive do they have to actually pay attention and do well in school? If what they're being taught isn't actually preparing them for the workforce and will barely...
And on top of that, and that's another thing, bro, I don't really blame kids for cheating like that. Like bro, we've gotten to, like, bro, AI is so powerful. It can generate you an entire essay. All these things that we learn in school and do in school, like, one thing that AI we see is replacing, like, completely, is school. It can completely replace school. We don't got every day, and it's crazy because that comment haunts my soul, but it said, every day we are getting closer and closer to that Wall-E scene. Every day we are getting closer and closer to that Wall-E scene. It's getting scary, guys, but, like, a kid is not just gonna sit there and not do something that, like, why would a kid waste their time on an assignment that he can just search the whole thing up on ChatGPT, bro? Like, I mean, like, bro, like, you already get the point, like, bro, like, all this shit is like, we need to change the school system. We've been needing to change this thing. And I'm just so glad, like, we're going to change this shit. And, like, this was the most important staple in most of our lives. All of our trauma, everything, you know what I'm saying, the trends. Like, I'm just thinking back, like, all that shit was from school, from being so fucking bored in school. Towards the end, bro, that shit was just like, what the fuck is this, man? You just sit there, bro. It's like, what do we even do? Like, what are we even doing in school right now? You know what I'm saying? So you can use AI, you can AI, do that whole shit on AI humanize everything, and just get done with school. And, like, I don't see, I mean, bro, I do see the problem with not knowing basic math and basic, you feel me, punctuation. That shit is bad, but I mean, bro, if you don't know this random ass nigga you learning in history about, bro, I mean, bro, what's gonna change, man? Like,
help them get a job, what reason do they have to discipline themselves? Why would they listen to a teacher? Why would they behave? And so this too creates a cycle tied to the decline of teaching as a profession. Not only are teachers getting paid trash and they feel like they can't relate to students more than ever, but even if they do try to enforce rules and get students in trouble, the students simply don't care.
Oh yeah, it's just, it has gotten to that point now, bro. I remember back in school, bro, like back in high school, bro, like, dog, like the teacher was like, bro, y'all don't even cheat anymore. y'all niggas just fail. Y'all don't even care anymore about school. Like, niggas don't. Like, niggas, like, man, school has just became like this. Like, nigga, you can't do. Like, I remember, bro, back in the day, bro, T. Pendle, how teacher what teachers want to say versus how. Oh my God, all those trends back then, bro. The memories. How teachers act versus how they really want to act. Oh man, that's not. I don't think that was the title, but I'm just thinking about that, bro. Like, man, school, like, it was a staple in our life. Like, nowadays, niggas can just not focus on school no more. Like, niggas can just walk out, bro. They're just like, the kids don't even give a fuck about that shit no more. Like, nowadays, I feel like kids, they don't even care about the consequences, bro. They'll just walk out of school and not give a fuck and don't even care about the consequences. Like, they do not give two fucks about it. Because it's just like, bro, it's just gotten to that point. I mean, like, bro, even the bullying, all that shit, bro. Like, the school shootings. Like, it's gotten bad, bro. It's gotten really, really bad. Like, this shit is just, school is no longer a fun environment anymore. And it's like, it's been showing itself. It's been rearing its ugly head for a long time. Like, especially, like, school is not even safe anymore. Bro, like, I remember back in the day, bro, there was aftercare in schools. Bro, you could dead ass, bro, we would be in, sometimes I'd be in aftercare all the way till 6 p.m., damn near 7 p.m. They'd have us in aftercare, bro. Like, you could just have your kid, this was in a private school. Those were some of the funnest times, bro. You could be in aftercare straight chilling, not giving a fuck. But, like, over time, bro, like, that shit just got worse. Like, bro, even, like, the high school that's literally right in front of me, if I look outside in my window, bro, they don't even allow no one on the campus after 3:30. After 3:30, they literally just say, bro, they're damn near calling the police. Like even, like, my little sister's school, that elementary school that's right there, she gets done by school at 3:30. If this time is past 3:45 and we haven't picked her up, bro, they're damn near calling the police on us. Like, it's like, bro, like, school is not even like a safe place anymore. Like, let's keep going, bro.
Trash, and they feel like they can't relate to students more than ever, but even if they do try to enforce rules and get students in trouble, the students simply don't care, because why does it matter anyways?
And they have a level of apathy that I've never seen before in my whole career. Punishments don't work because they don't care about them. They don't care about grades. They don't care about college. It's like you are interacting with them briefly in between hits of the internet.
I get it, kids like this have always existed, but when a brighter future feels increasingly out of reach, then naturally more kids like this are going to spawn out of that system. And that's before I've even mentioned the cost of pursuing college itself. The average cost of public higher education adjusted for inflation has soared, while the job market has simultaneously gotten harder and harder for new grads. Numbers from the first quarter of 2025 from the New York Federal Reserve show that the unemployment rate for recent college graduates reached 5.8%, up from 4.8% in January. Companies have also pulled back on hiring. Last fall, employers expected to increase college graduate hiring by 7.3%, according to a survey led by the National Association of Colleges and Employers. Now they're projecting just a 0.6% increase, with about 11% of companies planning to hire fewer new grads than before. The reasons for this are related to the reasons I outlined in my Why Young Men Aren't Going to College video, mainly that most employers now prioritize candidates' skills and experience over their degrees. To expect Gen Alpha, a generation that grew up in a...
It's outdated. This whole system is just, you can tell it's old. It's old, bro. Sitting there, the class is so unengaging. The teacher is so fucking annoying. You have to raise your hand to use the fucking bathroom, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, no, dude. No. Like, nah, like, I understand, bro, there are some fucked up kids out here, but, bro, that shit is old, bro. It's old. This shit is prison. It was literally prison. Like, this shit is old. It's done. It's whack. We need a new system. We can't keep doing this shit no more. Like, bro, we need to make it to where, bro, niggas don't even want to fight in school because of how engaging school is. Like school in the UK is so much different than the USA, bro. USA is America. Yeah, that's why he emphasized it. America is going through an extreme crisis, but in other places we don't even see that shit. Probably in a few bad apples, but that's it.
Fast-paced, information-rich digital environment to sit in a classroom for 7 hours a day, 5 days a week.
7 hours, 8 hours.
Just to struggle to get a degree and then struggle to find a job because
he's talking about college.
Degree isn't actually worth as much anymore is insanity when you frame things that way. And that's the general feeling.
What I sell to make 10K a month, I've always been 100% transparent with how I make my money. I just made my first 10K plus a month in the online space, 10K a month at 19.
I get from Gen Alpha, especially since they are simultaneously fed the narrative that you can make money online in so many more different ways now, ways that aren't taught in school at all. And that leads me to the final boss of disrupting education. Artificial intelligence. If there wasn't a big enough incentive to pay attention and learn in class before, well, you bet your ass there's virtually none now. It almost seems dumb to spend a
long man. I remember the day in 11th grade I first saw ChatGPT, bro. And nigga said, bro, you could create anything off this. I'm like, what the fuck? And I think that nigga typed in like Lil Baby. Give me a verse that sounds just like Lil Baby, bro. That shit typed it in perfectly. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is going on? Like, this just changes the whole landscape of things. Like, man, it's only gonna get crazier, guys. Like, it's only gonna get even crazier. AI is going to literally, like, what took us centuries, eons, thousands of years. I forgot what thousands of years called. What took us millennials is only gonna take AI a few seconds. Yeah, like we're reaching the end of humanity, bro.
Time talking about AI's impact on education, because compared to everything else we've gone over, it's so blatantly obvious what the consequences will be. But maybe I'll spend an entire video talking about it in the future. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments.
Yeah.
We've got kids using AI to do their assignments for them.
Point of view. The whole class is about to take a quiz, and this girl finishes before it even started.
Cheat on their tests for them, summarize the books they're supposed to be reading, and then writing essays based on those summaries for them. Not actually learning much of anything in the process, thus stunting their ability to think critically, develop discipline, and focus. And you have to blame part of that on how the current education system teaches students and under-rewards students for learning, because again, there simply just isn't enough of an incentive to not cheat. So now that we
Yeah, because, nigga, if you fail a class, you gotta go back. Who is trying to pay for that shit? Who? Like, people need to start thinking like, yo, a human is actually behind this, bro. Yo, I need to pass the class. I don't care about the information in this class. The information could be cool to know. But when you have a fucking test on the line and your entire self-worth is related to a fucking grade, bro, you gotta cheat, my nigga. And this is, bro, we need a change in this education system. I can't stress that enough. We need this shit to change. This shit is old, it's whack, it's old, it's trash. It needs to change.
Understand what I believe to be the biggest reasons for the decline of formal education as a whole. The question then becomes, like always, what can we do? Well, in regards of how to teach specifically, I think it comes down to answering these 4 questions. How is Gen Alpha engaging with the world around them? How is that shaping their values and worldview? How can we naturally incorporate education into the things that already capture Gen Alpha's attention or create similar experiences that are educational by design? And how can we connect what students are learning to the real-world skills they'll need for their future jobs while still emphasizing the importance of core subjects like math and reading, no matter the career path? We already have a pretty clear picture of the answer to that first question, so let's move on to the next three. As far as values and worldview, I think Gen Alpha are developing what we could call algorithmic values, and that sounds a lot more dystopian than it actually is when I'll go on to explain it. What I mean by algorithmic values are expectations shaped by platforms that reward perceived authenticity, viral content, and instant feedback. Here's the wild part. Gen Alphas spend an average of 2 hours per day on TikTok, yet only 5% rank social media as most important in their lives.
The least important thing in their life is one of the most is the thing they spend their time on the most. They don't even rank social media even at what is important at even 10%. They don't care about it. That's another thing that I've been noticing with these weird ass social media platforms. Bro, they don't even like, all they care about is just sapping all your energy away and not leaving you with shit else. It's just so weird. Like, look at this. They mainly care about their family, but they don't spend any time with them. Maybe it's because of anger, like, but we have to start knowing, bro, that there's real problems in this life, bro. Like, niggas are not just waking up, get, breakfast is cupcakes, their mom takes them, puts them to sleep with a bedtime story, nigga. That shit don't be happening, bro. Real life be happening to niggas, man. And, bro, like, it's just like, I mean, bro, nigga, if their parents are not there to teach them, if they're friends, if they don't really got friends to teach them like that, or they around, bro, you know what's gonna teach them? It's that damn phone. That phone is gonna teach them. So
this reveals a generation that's digitally native but surprisingly discerning. They expect personalization, immediate relevance, and content that adapts to their interests. Most importantly, they've grown up expecting information to be interactive, quick, and customizable, not static and one-size-fits-all. They value transparency over perfection, and they want to see direct connections between what they're learning and its real-world application.
Facts! And that's perfect. I think that is perfect. That is how you become a great businessman. I know, like, not everyone wants to be a businessman, but that's how you become a businessman. That's so true. That is literally so true. Like, they need to see a direct application as to what the fuck you're talking about. Is this real? And I feel like that's been great. You know what I'm saying? And, like, bro, we can teach education in a much better way. Something that we've never gotten as Gen Z or millennials or Gen X. It's not just a static way of learning that sucks ass, but an actual real way of learning. We can get that, bro. We can change this shit up. I've been thinking about this my whole life. Like, nigga, this education system needed a change. And the moment I started seeing, like, high school was not as strict as middle school, I'm like, yo, low key, bro, this shit can change, bro. We can change.
I want to see direct connections between what they're learning and its real-world application.
They are so aware of their power and what they want and what they don't want, and they are not afraid to share it.
So next question, how can we naturally incorporate education into what already captures Gen Alpha's attention? Well, I think the best ways we could do this is through gamification and personalized learning experiences. When I say gamification, I'm referring to the process of applying game design and mechanics to non-game contexts to enhance engagement and motivation.
That is so facts. That is so facts. Gamification is really good for Gen Alpha. It is pretty good, because what gamification is gonna do, even if gamification is somewhat of a hyper reality, this hyper reality will take them into actuality. You know what I'm saying? It's like training wheels before actually riding a bike. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, it's like they start learning, okay, this is how real life works. It's the same thing as a video game. Okay, learn to do this way. Okay, you learn that way. You do this, you do this. Then you can do it like this, and you can do it like that. Okay, now I'm starting to understand it like this. Okay, hold up. This is not actually true about life. I got to drop what the gamification is like and got to understand that real life is a little different. It's not as hyper. I got to do this. I got to do, like, they're going to start understanding by themselves. They don't need that gamification reality anymore. They can just start to understand. Yeah.
Considering the fact that most Gen Alphas play video games daily, this could be a great way to take the things they love about video games and the stimulation of it and apply that to learning. For instance, one study found that college students in a gamified cell biology class outperformed those in a traditional lecture-based class by 40%.
God! That's good. Oh, wow. Huh. I mean, it works. That works. Like, you see how, like, if somebody, like, bro, let's be honest here. If we have some shitty ass professor, what are we gonna do, bro? What's the first thing we're gonna do? We're gonna search that bitch up on YouTube. We have a shitty ass, like, if I got a shit ass teacher and he is teaching trash as fuck, what the fuck am I about to do? I'm about to search that shit up on YouTube, nigga. Fuck that teacher. Fuck his teaching method, bro. We gotta actually learn the information. Gamification and that shit is perfect. I feel like, bro, it's gonna be perfect, and it's just training wheels for the actual world. We've been needing it this whole time, but then we have this whack ass outdated system that is torturing us, that does not work and has never worked. That system has never worked, ever, bro. Because, bro, when you start, kids are not going to want to sit in the bathroom all day when they hear it. Like, they're not going to want to sit in the bathroom all day when they're learning something interesting. You know how when a teacher gets so angry, they start talking about personal life, they start talking about deep shit. It's like, I don't want to go to the bathroom if the teacher's talking about something so deep that can help me. That's going to change me. That's going to improve me. I'm not just going to leave. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to listen. This shit kind of good. Low-key, this teacher's spitting facts. But, like, bro, when you in a class, bro, and they're just sitting there and they're just angry and they give out some whack-ass, like, bro, what is this, bro? I hated the whole thing, bro. Bro, no one can do something that they hate, bro. Like, it's very hard to do something that you don't like. And it's something that doesn't improve you. Because at the end of the day, you could hate the gym. But one day you're going to love it. Why? Because it's so beneficial for you. You're going to hate eating healthy, but you're going to love it one day. Why? Because it's so beneficial for you. Once you learn, like, oh, shit, nigga, you could have diabetes. You could end up fat. This could happen. Your generation, your family bloodline, you could die. Like, oh, shit, that going to motivate you. Like, okay, I got to eat more healthier. But, like, with this, like, when you actually gamificate how how things are actually being learned and, like, how it can be applied and used, it's so much better. You're learning it. Bro, in school, like, ever since past, like, early elementary, bro, it never felt like I was learning, bro. It just sucked. You could just tell, bro, the teacher's just doing their job, bro. And it sucked. The vibe was ass. It sucked. You were trapped in a classroom with niggas you didn't know.
Biology class outperformed those in a traditional lecture-based class by 40%. Instead of just passively listening and regurgitating information, students earned points for completing challenges, unlocked new levels by mastering concepts, and collaborated in teams to solve simulated biological problems. The game mechanics kept—
like, that's it. Bro, that's it, bro. I'm so sorry, bro. School has never solved problems. Every time you're in school, they yap about some dumbass shit that it's like, bro, I remember, bro, I saw a video, bro, that nigga had on his story, bro. It was like a stop sign, and they said how teachers actually think we use math, and it's a fucking stop. Like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. What shape is a stop sign? A fucking, what is it? A hexagon, a octagon, whatever the fuck it's called. Like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Like, who gives a fuck about the shape of a stop sign, bro? Who cares? Who the fuck gives a fuck? How is this gonna apply to my personal life, bro? Like, we need to see direct correlation of what this shit is doing, dog. I'm so glad, bro. The education system is dying, and I am... Okay, I'm not glad that the education itself is... Education itself is not dying. The education system is dying, and that is perfect. It's perfect because we're not learning shit. Bro, how many times have you sat in class, bro, and they're just talking about something so nonsensical? Bro, you're not even listening. You're just on your phone. Like, what is this? I can't stand this. Nigga, I'm asleep. What is this class, bro? I got work in a little bit. I'm about to get out of here, bro. This place is crazy.
Engaged, but the real power was in how those mechanics reinforced learning, making complex material feel active, personal, and rewarding. As for personalized learning, I think this makes more sense when we explain it through the last question that we need to answer. How can we connect what students are learning to the real-world skills they'll need for their future jobs while still emphasizing math and reading?
And even if they don't know their future jobs, even if they don't know a thing in the world, they know that everyone knows that suffering exists. Everyone knows that there are problems with the world. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that life inherently, it fucking sucks. It's not good. So they can see what they're learning in school. Because remember, bro, you're in school for like 8 hours. Make middle school more like college. That's facts. You got to make middle school more like college, because that, like, elementary school, middle school, I hated that shit so much. But when we look back, bro, you in that class, bro, you not doing like, you're learning about the mitochondria as the powerhouse of the cell. I've seen many. That's why anti-intellectualism, pseudoscience, and all this shit is blowing up, because no one understands how these things correlate to actual problems. No one knows. We don't know how this shit works. But like, when we can see that shit and we can understand that shit and know how that shit works, bro, and we can get kids to understand that there's fucking problems and you could die right now, and when you start making them think, that's when they gonna start learning shit. Not sitting there not doing nothing. Like, bro, sitting there not doing nothing, this is we gotta stop that shit, bro. No one is doing anything in school. Niggas are just sitting there getting watched for the day. I remember a teacher, they would just cut on a movie. Bro, a teacher would literally cut on a YouTube video about what we finna learn, bro. We could have just watched the YouTube video and gone with our day. But they can do something to make the class engaging instead of just doing their job, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's tough. Like, we gotta like change this shit, gang.
I believe this requires us to fundamentally restructure middle and high school to mirror college choice while still maintaining those essential foundations. It's estimated that 2/3 of Gen Alpha will work in jobs that don't even exist today. Knowing this, aligning a school's curriculum with our new and upcoming world is essential if we want these kids to actually be prepared, have more job opportunities, and genuinely be excited about learning and entering the workforce. That means not only updating what I'm so glad for the future. Like, I really wonder what this shit is gonna look like. How we gonna change this shit up in the next few years, bro? We really gonna? I'm so glad, like, cause bro, that old system was so whack. I just want the newer generations to feel freedom and good. Nigga, that old shit was ass, bro. Sitting in the classroom learning about nothing. Learning about nothing, bro. Sitting there, it feels like my potential is wasted. Feels like I'm in jail, not doing shit. Bro, I know the kids feel the exact same way. The shit, it sucks. It's not real. We need something that's real, that's gonna touch the kids. That's gonna be like, damn, I'm learning in this shit. I'm actually learning. Like, nigga, most of our knowledge comes from video games, street knowledge,
bro science, self-improvement, like YouTubers. Nigga, we don't even get our knowledge from fucking school anymore. We don't. When was the last time you ever had a relationship with your teacher? Nigga, bro, we don't even have relationships with our teachers, bro. I make sure I stay as far away as I can from my teacher, bro. I'm scared to talk to my teacher, even for a little bit. I'm scared. I don't want to talk to you. You, out of all people, you, the person that can do anything to me, throw my phone across the room, do all this nonsense. You expect me to speak to you and have a civilized conversation with you? I don't fuck with you. I don't know you. Like, bro, and we gotta have this like, bro, I feel like the relationships, we've never had good relationships with authority. It's been like this. But nowadays, we're starting to gain more access to freedom. Like, that authority relationship, it's never been good. It has never been good. We had to sit there. Bro, when was the last time you had a good relationship with an authoritarian, bro? Hell no. Fuck that nigga. Like, I don't speak to my professors. I don't know them. I don't have no relations with them. After I'm done with my class, I dip. I don't even speak to the students in there. Like, bro, it just got to that point because niggas don't fuck with each other. It is what it is, gang, but it's all cool.
Teach, but also giving kids more of a say in what learning path they choose to go down so they're more motivated and passionate about the work they're doing. Instead of forcing all students through identical curricula, imagine student-selected subjects, like students choosing from science, history, arts, technology, and career-focused options. Imagine choice-based reading, where students select books within genre requirements or thematic units with teacher guidance. And imagine flexible math pathways, where students learn essential mathematical concepts through applications that align with their interests.
Like, bro, I'm so serious. Bro, like, when have we ever used algebra in real life, bro? Like, we don't use that shit. Like, and then we get bombarded with all this crap. Like, when we become this pseudo-intellectual, and then talking about, like, let's say, like, a nigga like Professor Dave Explains comes up to you and, like, you're like, no, we actually have always been using algebra. Like, nigga, we don't know that shit. Like, bro, that's not our fault. Like, that isn't our fault. We didn't know. Like, the whole school system needs to get destroyed. We need to rebuild the entire thing because it is just old. It's old, bro. It's whack. No one does this shit anymore. I mean, it can be somewhat kind of engaging, but it's still, bro, I searched up a college lecture on YouTube, bro. The first comment was, man, I'm feeling the stress already. Bro, I'm more stressed out at college than than anywhere else. Anywhere else in my life, I'm more stressed out at college. I just hate that shit. I hate the feeling of sitting in class, not doing shit, not learning shit. No one cares. Everybody wants to just go do whatever they were doing before they were in this stupid ass classroom, bro.
Like game design, data analysis, financial planning, or engineering. For example, what if we showed students how statistical analysis applies to being an aspiring social media creator, or teaching geometric principles to those interested in game design, or algebra?
Geometric, like, teach that shit to create, like, bro, we have never had an engaging teacher. I have never had an engaging teacher, bro. I've had like a few in elementary school. I maybe had a few in high school. I ain't had, nigga, all the teachers I spoke to, they were all weird, bruh. We never saw geometric principles that relate towards buildings and shit. Like, it's like, bro, we learn all this shit right as soon as we get into college. What the fuck? I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this environment like that. It's like, bro, we gotta make shit like actually like good and fun and engaging. Like, bro, and while it was cool like learning about that shit, bro, in college, like,
concepts for future entrepreneurs calculating business models. When you tie the learning concepts into the worlds that they're already occupying and are interested in, that's when kids start to see more of a purpose in their education and become motivated to work hard.
And the greatest part about kids is like they just keep doing it. We cannot let kids lose that spirit, bro. I'm sorry. We cannot let kids lose if you let a kid lose their spirit, it's over, bro. It's just a certain level of, bro, you just never really recover from that shit. Like, there's just a certain level of, like, damn, I can't recover from this. It's like, bro, this shit is just like, it's just ass, bro.
And of course, I didn't forget about the teachers. Both the implementation of the features I described just now and the increase in teacher wages would almost definitely require more school funding. States have cut school funding deeply since the Great Recession, and in many states...
Holy shit. Yeah, this could be the end of an era. Wow, the end of schools. Like this, we could really see the end of schools with Gen Alpha. We could just straight up, cause bro, like niggas have stopped. Bro, I saw a bunch of niggas who were graduating in the class of 2025. I saw a bunch of niggas who were supposed to graduate in the class of 2025 graduate in the class of 2024. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Damn, like these niggas, they don't even want to stay the extra year no more. 17 graduating. They don't care about high school no more. Like, this shit is ass, bro. I'm not trying to be here no more.
Those cuts haven't been fully reversed. If you or anyone you know knows how to start reversing this, please get them into some sort of local government office, or if you have any other suggestions, leave them in the comments. But if school funding itself doesn't increase, teachers still need to have their wages updated to meet modern standards. Otherwise, just like kids learning in the current education system, there's not gonna be enough of an incentive to become a teacher. And lastly, make college degrees worth something again. That means lowering the cost of public education and realigning college curricula as well to teach students relevant modern skills, adaptability, and flexibility, which
college should not be 4 years learning about crap you don't need. College should be like 2 years. Realistically, you only need like 2 years in that shit. Learning for 4 years, sitting there, like this shit is like, no one cares, bro. Like, that's why trade school is just so much better, because you're just sitting there the whole time just learning the skill. That's it. You're just sitting there learning. You're just sitting there actually learning what you need to learn. You're actually just learning. I'm like, bro, I am so glad. Like, I don't know what to name. I think I'm going to name this video The Death of the Education System and the Rise of Something Greater. Because I feel like in the future, we're really going to change things up. Things that we're going to start actually focusing on mental health. Like, we're going to be finally in the new era of humanity. It is about to be the end of an era. Of all those days we had to suffer in high school with the old ass outdated system, and the only fun parts of school were the times you hung out with friends and made up random ass games and just had the most fun ever. We're actually entering in the dream era. The era where we finally accomplished those things we always wanted to accomplish as kids. I feel like it's actually going to happen. So, hopefully it does. Like, bro, this has been a long one, and the video's still going, but let's keep going.
Is what a lot of employers are now looking for. So yeah, there's no single fix here. It's not just about making school more fun or banning phones or increasing teacher wages.
Like, yeah, banning phones, bro, that's gonna just make it way worse. It is just gonna, bro, don't ban phones. That is gonna make shit worse. Banning phones will only increase the bro, it's gonna get so bad, like, niggas are gonna just find ways to never come to high school. Cause, bro, you can't just ban, bro, no. This is why dumb stuff starts blowing up, cause it has just been, okay, man, we gotta get into part 2. This has been too interesting. I can't wait, bro. I can't wait for the future. I can't wait for the future. The death of the education system and the rise of something greater. I'm so ready for this shit. I'm so ready, bro.
Ages. It's about realizing that our current system is built for a world that doesn't exist anymore. And the longer we keep trying to force kids into this system, the more disengaged, frustrated, and hopeless they'll become. We have the tools, the research, and the understanding to start building something better. But whether we actually do that or just keep patching up the same broken structure depends on how seriously the message in this video is taken by the people who have the power to do something about it. It's clear that critical thinking is in a bit of a crisis now too, partly because of education, but partly because the online world is just so emotionally charged, full of rage baiting, full of misinformation, and full of people disagreeing and debating with each other in bad faith. In this world of increasing mistrust, it's going to become all the more important to have the skills to critically think, to emotionally regulate yourself, and to learn how to discern what is true and what isn't. The problem is there's not really any tools out there right now that actually teach you how to develop those critical thinking skills. And that is why for the past year, I've been working on creating a critical thinking masterclass, a 16-video curriculum designed to help you sharpen your reasoning, spot manipulative rhetoric, and navigate emotionally charged conversations, both online and in real life. I plan on completing the masterclass within the next couple months, so if you're interested, you can join the waitlist by going to cole-hastings.com/critical thinking. It's one of the first links in the description as well, and you will get notified when it drops. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and if you haven't seen my literacy crisis video yet, you should watch it if you enjoyed this video. And I'm leaving now. Check out that video, binge my videos so I can make more money. Cool.
All right. Hey, that was amazing, Cole. Oh my God, an hour and 11 minutes in. Yeah, bro. This and the next one is gonna probably be even longer. Yeah, I'm so glad. The death of an education system and the rise of something greater.